The typical hatchback segment isn't as straightforward as it once was. As well as traditional petrol and diesel models, we've also seen electric versions enter the fray to challenge the status quo. The Nissan Leaf has been around for a little while now, but only in recent generations has it developed the range and all-round ability to challenge the segment leaders. Leaders, as it so happens, just like the Volkswagen Golf. It's now in its 8th generation but continues to be a go-to for many drivers. So how do these two compare and which one should you be checking out? Now both cars here go about the traditional hatchback layout completely differently. The Leaf has definitely evolved over time, but it's now one of the more understated EVs in the segment, particularly when you compare it to cars like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 or the MG4. But if you like a car that doesn't shout too much, then this could well be the car for you. As for the Golf, well, that's still very recognisable as Volkswagen's famous hatchback. Sure, this latest generation might have thrown in some edgy designs, but it's still a car that pretty much everybody will know. Styling is, of course, a very personal thing, but we'd say that the two here are pretty much level pegging with each other in the looks department. You don't spend all of your time looking at your car, so the interior is a better place to judge this pair. The Golf's interior provides everything you'd expect from a Volkswagen, with good levels of spaciousness and plenty of features. This latest 8th generation car hasn't been quite as solid inside as its predecessors, but it's still comfy and has a good amount of space for those in the back too. You've also got 380 litres of boot space to play with. The Leaf, meanwhile, has loads of space, and despite the somewhat raked roofline, can deliver a good amount of headroom too. The materials aren't quite as pleasant as the Golf's, mind you, with scratchy plastics dotted around, though the dashboard area is a little bit button heavy. It's quite refreshing to have the heating and ventilation controls accessed via buttons. They're a pain to use via the screen in the Golf. The Leaf also trumps the Golf's boot space considerably, with 435 litres on offer. We'd actually put the win in the Leaf's corner for this section. Driving each of these cars presents quite a different experience. Nissan has nailed the one-pedal driving experience in the Leaf, so for the most part you don't even need to trouble the brake pedal. Simply lift off the throttle and the car slows itself down more than adequately enough. This makes it relaxing to drive around town, though the Leaf does feel a little bit noisy on the motorway. The Golf, however, remains a great all-rounder. Use it for trips through town and it's sharp and nimble, but it's also surprisingly refined and comfortable at a cruise too. Sure, it does offer the instantaneous torque delivery of the Leaf, but as a car for all occasions, it's the Golf that we choose. The running costs here depend entirely on your charging situation. If you're able to access home charging and an EV specific tariff which gets you low cost charging during off-peak times, then the Leaf will be night and day cheaper to run here. However, if you're only able to get to public chargers, then the differences won't be quite so obvious. The Golf is, of course, available with some super clean engine choices that will sip petrol. You can also get it with a plug-in hybrid setup in the GTE, which will give you the ability to travel for up to 40 miles on electric power only. Given all the information, we'd say this area is a draw. Now, prices for the Nissan Leaf kick off from £28,995 brand new, with all versions getting an 8-inch touchscreen with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, alongside Nissan's suite of safety systems and 16-inch alloy wheels. Move to the Golf and we're looking at prices from £26,565, so it does undercut the Leaf and you get the same level of equipment such as the main infotainment system, 16-inch alloy wheels and adaptive cruise control. For value then, we'd probably pick the Golf, but if you can access cheap charging, then the Leaf will be more cost effective in the long run. It's worth remembering that there are plenty of used examples of both of these cars currently available on Motors.co.uk, in case you'd like to save yourself some money by opting for a used version. The The winner of this pairing really depends on what you want to do. If you've got home charging, do frequent shorter journeys and don't tend to spend that much time traipsing up and down the motorway, then we'd recommend the Leaf. It'll be cheaper to run in the long term, while zero road tax and lower maintenance costs will make things even more cost effective. But if you're used to travelling a little further afield, the Golf remains the one to go for. Slightly irritating infotainment system aside, this is still one very well-rounded hatchback that delivers a far more premium experience than you might expect. Thanks for watching this twin test of the Volkswagen Golf and Nissan Leaf. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a like and click that bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video.